everybody. Thank you for having us here. We are the OSU Jugglers, and we have put together a show for you which is going to demonstrate different levels of juggling in the form of karate. Okay, so the belt system, and Dave Sallee, who will come out here in a minute, is going to explain to you in detail what it takes to earn your belts in different props that we have. Okay, but before we begin, I just let you know that we get together on Mondays from 5 to 7 and Thursdays from 6 to 8 at McAlexander Fieldhouse. And you're welcome to come join us. It's free to juggle. Just come, bring yourself and a good attitude, and we will help you learn how to juggle any of the props that we show you tonight and more. So, so we might as well get started and invite our MC, David Sallee, out here to explain to you the belt rank system.
Yes, there actually is a belt rating system for juggling. It's there's 4 belts. There's white belts, red belts, blue belts, and black belts. And the nice thing about this particular system is that it includes every single person on the planet. Every single one in this room, including that small child right there, is either a white belt, red belt, blue belt, or black belt.
She's a black belt.
Probably a black belt. We will find out in a little bit. With beanbags, which is where most people start with their juggling, it turns out that a white belt with beanbags can do this. Yeah. Now they might want to get some smaller ones for, kid. But anybody should be able to do this. Now, in order to move from a white belt to a red belt with beanbags, we need somebody that actually knows how to juggle. Who wants to volunteer up here? Come on up, Garrett. This is Garrett, one of our students. In order to go from a white belt to a red belt, you must be able to make 3 successful throws and 3 successful catches, as will be demonstrated right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent work. That is a red belt. Now, a blue belt will have
Red belt.
Red belt. Yes, red belt as well. Now someone else can step up here and demonstrate some of the blue belt tricks with beanbags. Sure, why not? Oh, why not? All right. Some of the blue belt tricks, typical ones are under the leg. Can you do under the leg? Under the leg. There you go. Very nice. Another one is Jugglers tennis, where one ball is tossed back and forth over the top of the pattern. Very, very nice. And another typical blue belt trick is a full shower, which is all 3 going in a nice little circle. Very good. Yes. Now to move on to the black belt of beanbag juggling, there are actually 2 tricks that are pretty much the black belt tricks. Someone's going to demonstrate that. Either that or I'll do it.
All right, fine.
Our first black belt trick is known as Mills Mess. Mills Mess combines 3 actual tricks. It combines a throw over the top of the pattern, a carry across the pattern, and a throw underneath the arm, all at the same time, which takes quite a while to learn. And that is Mills Mess, black belt trick number 1. Very nice. And this is Crizzly, one of our instructors. And black belt trick number 2 involves taking all 3 beanbags and placing it in one hand. Now, white belts can actually do this trick as well. They can take all 3 beanbags, place it in one hand, and that's all they can do. With a white belt, you actually take all 3 and you juggle all 3 in one hand. Super smooth. Very nice. Nobody said that.
Saw what? It was a deep bow.
Exactly. Now, we don't just juggle beanbags. No, in fact, we have lots of various props that we do. Our second prop that we're going to cover is something called contact juggling. Now, if anybody has seen the movie Labyrinth, I know, it's long.
Is that David Bowie?
Yeah,
We showed the labs at the beginning of the year.
There is a crystal ball maneuver where you actually take one ball and pass it back and forth in front of your hands. Yet, we must start with the white belt tricks. Now, the white belt trick with the crystal ball is to attempt to tell the future. Yes, use it as a crystal ball. Anyone should be able to do this. The other thing is starting fires, but we're not outdoors, so we can't show that one. Now, to be a red belt, you must be able to pass the ball back and forth on one hand. So from the back of the hand to the front of the hand, from the front of the hand back to the hand. Back and forth, making it look like it's rolling across. Very nice. And that is red belt. Anybody should be able to do that after a little bit of training. Now to move on to the blue belt, you must be able to pass it from one hand to the other in a nice fluid motion. Back and forth. Very nice. Good blue belt trick.
And reverse.
And reverse. And backwards. Very nice. And Ed can do another blue belt trick known as the circle. Is that what it is? Ah, yes. Ah, very nice.
Whoa.
Yeah, as you can see, as soon as you get to the blue belt level, you start getting woes. That's usually a good sign. Now, we do have a special black belt trick with the contact juggling ball. And in order to do that, we need to change to a different stunt ball. Now, Ed is going to attempt to demonstrate why we change over to this stunt ball by catching this ball directly on his forehead from a throw. Can he do it? Silence. Oh, nice. Oh, and Ed rolls too. Now he's just showing off. Very good. And I'll actually hand you the microphone for a moment, because I'm going to demonstrate cigar boxes.
Cigar boxes. Woo! This is another prop that we have the ability to demonstrate. And of course, there are white belt, red belt, blue belt, and black belt tricks with it. Our first white belt trick is to demonstrate Stonehenge. Anyone can do this.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I know, it's a little tricky. You know, got to get the boxes just right.
do that.
Now, the second white belt trick is, of course, dominoes. As you can see, white belt tricks are not overly impressive. Now, to be a red belt with the cigar boxes, you must learn how to make the end box turn to 180 degrees and back. 180 degrees, back. Very, very simple. Those are red belt tricks. Now, in order to be a blue belt with the cigar boxes, you must actually start removing the center box. You can take the center box down and around. You can take the center box up and around. You can also alternate which hand takes the center box. You can rotate it. You can do under leg. You can also take the end box. Or pass it. And let's see. In order to be a black belt with the cigar boxes, there are two maneuvers. First one is known as a double takeaway, where I'll attempt to take both end boxes. Now, the other one actually involves all three boxes as well. Placed in this kind of pattern, tossed in the air, and rotated 180 degrees. All right. Cigar boxes.
All right, now we'll actually move on to yet another prop. We move on to rings. Yes. And of course, as you can see, they are OSU colors. Oh. Yes.
OSU.
But of course, there are white belt, red belt, blue belt, and black belt tricks with the rings. Our first, of course, is we're going to start with the white belt trick. White belt trick is the halo. Oh. Very nice. Yes, anyone should be able to do that, except Crizzly. But that's a story for another time. The next thing is we can do red belt. To go from a white belt to a red belt, you must be able to throw 3, 6. There you go, and stop. And there you go. That's all you need for a red belt. Very nice head. Now, to go on to a blue belt, you must be able to start doing some blue belt tricks. Tricks with rings. It's going to attempt under leg. Very nice. Very difficult with rings. That's why it's a blue belt trick. Now, to move on to the black belt trick, there are two. There's a trick called 5-3-1, where one ring goes high, one goes to the middle, one passes straight across. Do it again so they can see it again. Very nice. And now, the ultimate in black belt ring tricks. the 1-up 360. Oh, nice. Good work. Now, rings do not only have to be a solo individual. You can actually take rings, hand it to someone else, and learn how to pass. So we're going to see some passing demonstration with rings.
White belt.
The white belt version of passing with rings is hand each other the rings.
Yeah!
Yes. In case you needed to see that again, hand each other the rings. Yes, very good, very good. Now, another white belt trick with the rings is what's known as the ring catch. So Ed is going to attempt to throw the deadly razor-sharp ring over Chris's head.
Medics on hand.
Oh yeah! Nicely done. All right, and now they're going to actually pass the rings as red belt, which means that they'll be making 3 throws to each other and then stopping. The red belt version. 1, 2, 3. Very nice. And now they're going to move on to more difficult stuff. Everys. This is the blue belt version, and I think pretty much the black belt for them as well. Very nice. So now I'm going to hand the microphone off again because I'm going to go to a different prop.
Go to this one. This is a Chinese yo-yo, also known as a diabolo. And of course, there are white belt, red belt, blue belt, and black belt tricks. The white belt tricks, there are 2 of them with the Chinese yo-yo. The first one is to try and use this as a plunger.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. The second one is the fact that you use sticks and string. And so you can actually take this string, put it around your waist, and make a white belt out of it. Yeah, very, very simple. Now, to be a red belt with the Chinese yo-yo, you must be able to make it spin. And you do this by several different methods. The easiest one is by playing the drums. And then once it's spinning, you can actually toss it into the air. Hopefully not too high because we have a low ceiling here. So these are little red belt tricks. Yeah. Now, to become a blue belt, you must learn how to accelerate the Chinese yo-yo in different methods. This is another one, and this is another one. And if you do it this way, the angry Chinese yo-yo guy, you can make it climb the string, defying gravity.
Nice.
Yeah. We'll try that again, just in case you missed it. Fast. Climb the string. Now another way to increase the speed is by making it leave the string. If you do this, you can do another blue belt trick where you step over the string and have it pass over your leg. Another one is cat's cradle, string trick. But alas, we want to get to the black belt trick. The black belt trick with the Chinese yo-yo is quite simply known as the whip catch, where you toss the Chinese yo-yo into the air, put 2 sticks in one hand, and then whip at it. Something like this. Here's that one time. It never works. Oh. And that's the Chinese yo-yo. Now we move on to our final prop. Our final prop that we'll be showing are clubs. Not to be confused with pins. These are clubs. And of course, we can do white belt, red belt, blue belt, and black belt tricks with clubs. The first white belt trick with club is the drunken pirate. Yes. Yeah, with carrot. Little added feature. Very nice. Anyone can do that. Now, in order to move from a white belt to a red belt, you must be able to throw 3 clubs and catch 3 clubs. 1, 2, 3. Catch. I know. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Well, now. Remember, you are billed as an instructor. All right, now, to move on to the blue belt, we must be able to do some typical blue belt tricks. Such are under the leg, or under the kilt, I suppose. You can also do another one. Do a double throw, double spin. Very nice. Where the club actually rotates twice before catching it. 1, 2. Very good. What's another blue belt trick that you want to do? Oh, over the top of the pattern. Very nice. And of course, moving on to over the shoulder with a fix.
Impressive. All right, so now we're going to move on to the black belt trick. The black belt trick with 3 clubs would, of course, be 3 club Mills mess. You've seen the black belt trick with beanbags. Now imagine that with clubs. Soon you won't have to imagine it because Crizzly is going to do it. Very nice. Give him a round of applause. He deserves it. Very, very good. Now, of course, like with the rings, you can actually take the clubs and pass them. So you can pass this off.
Oh, don't worry, we'll be
There's
safe.
more stuff going on.
It's not as dangerous as it looks.
Watch
Of course, the white belt version of passing, as you have seen, is the passing this way. You can actually put in flourishes and rotations and spins. And stuff.
Wow.
There you go. Now, in order to be a red belt passer, we make 3 throws and 3 catches. 1, 2, 3. Ta-da.
Woohoo!
Now we're going to go ahead and move on to some blue belt tricks. Some over the shoulder. That's a good one. Of course, the under the leg. And don't forget, you do have 2 legs, so you can go under the other leg. Keep on that. Nice double. Very good.
Yeah, you can try it in a little bit.
That's right. We usually just kind of throw until we try and drop one of these at some point. So we start throwing more complicated things as far as blue belt tricks go. But we can stop. So that's a blue belt stuff. Now we're going to go ahead and go on to black belt. Black belt we'll do everys and gather. Yeah, gather. Gather's good.
So all the tricks in everys first.
Yes. So everys means that every single time a club hits our right hand, we're throwing it away. And we can throw some tricks in there. Pretty much any trick that you do in everys winds up being a black belt trick. Just because it's so much faster, there are there's no time to do any recoveries and such like that. Okay. Very nice. That's called a gather. And that is yet another black belt trick. Oh, sorry. So at this point, this concludes the demonstration portion. Oh, yes, that's right. We do have one ultimate black belt trick that we're going to attempt here.
Shall I grab some too?
In which this is teamwork in its finest. And what we're going to do is we're going to pass, all 4 of us, at the same time.
And I'm getting out of here.
N.
No. Explain to them.
You're thinking of shield. Get back over.
Yeah.
I think she wants
What exactly is going to happen, if you look closely, you'll notice that the instructors, 2 of us anyway, happen to be in these positions. These positions get to pass everys. So I will be passing 1 club to Chris, and then a club to Crizzly. Meanwhile, he's passing 1 to Ed, and then to myself. So the 2 on these ends are going to pass every other. So they get a club out, a club to themselves, a club out, a club to themselves. Crizzly and I do not get that luxury. We have to pass every single club. So it gets a little complicated for us, easy for the 2 ends. We'll see how it goes. And yes, all 4 of us passing at the same time. The ultimate in teamwork, black belt trick.
Can you do an X?
Well, yes, we could. It's known as a box. And yes, it becomes a little... So I guess, oh, all right, fine. You think of the ceiling? Yeah. Always room for
Is this place insured?
You did say that the table was broken already, right? So, you know, while 6 is good, 7, of course, would be far better. So we're going to pass 7 clubs. In order to do so, typically, we need to increase the number of spins on the actual club. So we're all going to pass doubles. Now you'll notice that I don't talk nearly as much during 7 because it takes a little bit more concentration. Doing tricks in 7.
We got one more try.
Yeah,
We get one more try together. Whoops, sorry.
you want to do that?
step forward.
We got 3 people
Audience
watching us
outside.
outside. It's like, come on, people!